Today we're going to be reviewing set 76915 Pagani Utopia containing 249 pieces. This set is currently retailing for $25 on the LEGO website. Now if you want to purchase this set on Bricklink instead, then the average price on there new is $27 and the average price used is $19. Moving on to our minifigures, we only get one, which is the Pagani Utopia driver here, and then we also get some accessories here. So we have this helmet right here for him, and then we also have this tool right here, which is both an accessory and a tool that we will use later on in the video. Here is a back view of the minifigure as well, a back view without the hairpiece showing no alternate face, and finally a front view with the helmet this time instead of that hairpiece. And I do want to say that I'm a big fan of this jumpsuit look that he has going on with the Pagani symbol right in front there. Next we can move on into getting a 360 view of the vehicle along with a little bit of an overhead view. So we're going to go ahead and start with this left side here. Then we have a front view of the vehicle. Here's a look at the right side. Here is the back of the vehicle. And finally an overhead view of the vehicle as well. Now again, because this is more of a display piece, we're going to focus more on the aesthetics and looks of the actual vehicle versus any playability features, because it doesn't really have any of those features. But when talking about the aesthetics, I got to talk about the amount of stickers this set possesses. Now this set actually only has 8 stickers, which is great in my opinion, but some of those could have been prints as well. But you know, 8 stickers for this set is perfectly normal. I feel like that makes sense overall, not too crazy on the sticker side of things, so it doesn't really bug me too much. But you know, you always prefer the printed pieces instead of stickers. Taking a closer look at the vehicle, the designers did a great job in keeping the overall shape of the vehicle. Now there is still some inaccuracies due to the scale of the vehicle, however, so we're going to take a look at those. Now starting with the back here, the brake lights are our first inaccuracy, mainly the way that they are built. So they should be in compartments of their own. So these sides should be covered up, and you shouldn't really be able to see the brake light from this angle at least. You should be able to see it from the back, but not from the side as we do here. Now again, this is due to the scale of the vehicle being a lot smaller, so it's very difficult to achieve that with this scale. Back here we also have a printed piece and a sticker there for the exhaust, but moving on from there we can move on to the next inaccuracy, which is these 2 pieces right here. Now these pieces are creating an angle here, which is very inaccurate. They should be more of a rounded piece here, and that should be on both sides, of course, so that is another inaccuracy there. From there we can move on to the very front where we get a couple more things. So we get stickers here for more details, of course, and then we have printed headlights, which is great, but the inaccuracy here is the grille itself, or the front portion of the vehicle. It just looks inaccurate in this area compared to what you see on the vehicle itself, but again, the scale is the issue here. Now from there we have the windscreen piece printed, of course, which is great. I love that. The gray actually matches these colors down here. It doesn't really match with this piece right here, but I think it's because the texture and plastic is a tad bit different. But the main concern that I have with this area is, if you can tell there, it's very slight, but mine seems to push up a little bit. It's not completely flush. Again, it's very minimal, but it is there, so just be aware of it. Not a big issue, I don't think, but you know, it is something that you can potentially see up close, right? So that's just something to be aware about. Before moving into the interior, we're going to take a look at the wheels. So this set comes with 2 sets of rims. You have the ones that are on the vehicle at the moment, and then this set right here that is on this custom stand. Now the process of exchanging the rims is very simple. First, you must take off the tires, and I've found that this is the easiest way to kind of go about this process. You want to take off both tires, and sometimes these pins come out as well. You can just pull those out after. There's not really an easy way to, you know, leave those in there, just because the connection is stronger on the outside than it is the inside. So there we go. So we'll just put those back in a second, but now you have your tires here, and if you flip them, you can see that there is this little hole on the back. So you take this accessory / tool that comes with the minifigure, and you can push it through here and get both of these rims out the other side. So now you can move those out the way. You can grab your new rims that you're going to put on there, and then we can put those on here as well. And now you have made that exchange on there. So you get your 2 new wheels here. And then let's go ahead and put these back. Again, this isn't really supposed to happen, but there isn't an easier way to do this due to the connection being so strong on the outside. So putting those pins back and then putting our tires back, now we have our new rims there. So that's how they look on the vehicle there, and then you can have either that option or you can have this option right here, whatever you decide to do. Now that we got our original rims back on, we can take a look at the interior. So the way that you gain access to this interior is you just take this windscreen piece right here, and you can just pull it right off and set it off to the side. So in here, we got a couple of things going on. First, there is this dashboard sticker, which is very nice. The shift down here is built, so that's great. It's not a flat piece, so this gives it more of that depth in there. The console is nice. The biggest thing is the colors. I'm a big fan of this nougat in here. It just makes it stand out a lot more. I'm also a fan of the steering wheel being built into that front area. I think that's a great job on their part as well. Now, there is also the aspect of sitting minifigures in here. So if I just take the driver that you get in the set, I can sit him right in there. Now, there is an issue with this, and I didn't notice this until I was recording really, but if you want to have a minifigure in there, he has to be bald. He can't have hair. For some reason, they didn't test this. I don't get why. You should definitely be able to fit minifigures in here, but again, they didn't really test this. You can see there's that fat gap in there, which is a shame, really. Like, if you're buying a set like this and the interior is one of those aspects, you should test the fact that you can fit minifigures in here. Why is it that not something that you test? So if he's bald, you can take off this hair here and sit him back in here. Let me get there. Yep, that'll work fine. That'll work fine. If he's bald, he fits, right? He fits if he's bald. But they included this accessory of adding hair, so testing the fact that he would have hair in the vehicle instead of a helmet, why wouldn't they test that? It's just kind of a pain that they wouldn't test it at all. It really is a shame because you want your character to have some uniqueness to him within the vehicle, and helmets don't really provide that while they are cool. So I usually like having hair on them, but they didn't test this for some reason. Just with one or two more studs of clearance, they could have had him in there, and the fact that they didn't test that is really a shame, to be honest. It really is. Now that we have our bald minifigure in there, the vehicle itself still has the ability to roll. So, of course, it only goes back and forth or straight, just because you can't really turn vehicles like this, and I don't blame them for that. I'm not expecting that feature within this thing. You don't really need it, to be honest. It's more of a display piece, so that's fine. But you can roll this thing. So here it is rolling from right to left. And just to get a different angle of this, here it is rolling from the top right to the bottom left of the screen. Before moving on to the final thoughts and outro, I wanted to compare the Pagani Utopia to the Ferrari A12 Competizione that I reviewed last week as well. So here is a size comparison of those two vehicles. So again, this is everything you get in set 76915 Pagani Utopia, containing 249 pieces and retailing for $25 US. Now, do I think that the set is worth the $25 price point? The answer is kind of. If you want to look at price per piece, it's coming at 10 cents per piece, which is really what most people are looking for in a set. But I care about the end product in the end. So you get one minifigure, but that's to be expected. It's more of a display set than a place set, so that's fine with me. The car itself is great. They captured that shape perfectly, and then the interior is nicely done with that nougat color in there, adding for some nice detail. Now, there is some inaccuracies, but again, I don't really count those as problems with the vehicle, as it is more of a scale thing versus there actually being problems with the vehicle overall. The biggest issue that I'm having with the vehicle itself is the ability to not sit a character within the cockpit area with their hair on. I don't know why this wasn't tested beforehand. It just doesn't make sense to provide an accessory, a headpiece for that matter, for a minifigure, and then not be able to sit that minifigure with that headpiece in the cockpit with a flush cockpit or windscreen piece on top of them. It just doesn't make sense that they wouldn't have tested that. And it really is a shame that that has to, occur with this set. Overall, it's still a great display piece, and I think it's still worth it because it still provides a good amount of things for it as a display model. And then having the ability to interchange the rims is great as well. But in the end, the set itself is still great. The only issue, again, is that minifigure problem. So you either got to decide if you just want to put that helmet on him and have him in there, or have him bald, or no minifigure at all and just have him standing out in front. But again, that has been my review of set 76915 Pagani Utopia. If you are enjoying the content, consider liking the video. And if you are enjoying the content and are not subscribed, consider subscribing. It is completely free and helps me out in the long run. Now, as always, I will see you guys in my next video.